There are calls to shut down a meat processing plant in Manitoba. Several employees have fallen ill with COVID-19, contributing to the second highest one-day jump that province has recorded. Laura McQuillan standing by with all the details. Laura, what do we know about this spike?
Yeah, there are 4 employees at the Maple Leaf Foods plant in Brandon, Manitoba who've fallen ill, and I should emphasise that they haven't fallen ill in the workplace. This is believed to be a case of them having picked up COVID-19 outside of work. But as you mentioned, a spike in Manitoba, 30 new cases yesterday, the highest number since April 2. 18 in Brandon, Manitoba, all believed to be one cluster, including these meat processing plant employees. And that's got the union worried. It's calling for the plant to be shut down until Monday because it wants all the workers who've been tested for COVID-19 to get their results back before they go back to work. We know that many of them are in isolation at the moment, some 2,000 employees at that plant. And what the union, the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, is saying is that it doesn't want to see a repeat of what we saw in meat processing plants around the country in recent months. Take, for instance, the Cargill plant in High River, Alberta. You had a handful of employees sick one day, and within a matter of weeks, 1,500 people in the community had become infected from that group. Now, here is what the union had to say on trying to avoid a repeat of that.
That's our biggest concern. I'm not saying that Maple Leaf hasn't done the right things. I'm just saying that right now that their best efforts have not resulted in keeping the virus out of the plant, that the right thing to do now is to shut it down until it's under control.
And that was put to Manitoba's Public Health Officer, Dr. Brent Rusin, yesterday. He was asked, will it be shut down? If not now, when would it be shut down? And he said, because there is no workplace spread or no evidence of that at this point, it's kind of a case of wait and see. He's feeling pretty confident with allowing it to remain open for now because of the measures that are in place. Here's what he told journalists.
The industry itself has gone above and beyond what public health has recommended to do. As we're looking at things in the industry as a whole, we're not seeing evidence of transmission occurring within the workplace, and so this is that would be an important thing that we would that would concern us if we saw. But we're going to continue to watch that very closely.
And we reached out to Maple Leaf Foods to find out their take on all of this. They sent us a statement and they said they'd reviewed the circumstances here. They were confident that those COVID-19 cases came from outside of the plant. They say, we feel confident that our plant environment is safe. They went on to tell us that employees are subject to daily screening. They have temperature checks. They also have personal protective equipment. Those measures in place to stop the spread of COVID-19 within the plant, John.
All right, Laura, let's talk about this cluster in Brandon. What's behind those cases?
Well, it all goes back to one person, according to those same health officials that we heard from yesterday. They said it is an individual who travelled outside of the province, came back, and they did self-isolate, but they didn't do it quite up to standard. Here's what we heard on that front.
In this particular case, it was from out east, and the person was to have self-isolated, and it wasn't done perfectly as we saw transmission occur. Self-isolation isn't only staying home, right? It's also limiting your contact with other people in the home. And so this is important for people to know. So if someone is self-isolating within your home, you can't have close, prolonged contact with them, or essentially you should be self-isolating as well.
So from that you could infer that this was a case of communal living that passed on the infection. The officials said there is no evidence of community transmission, though this has spread between close contacts to become that 18 cluster, John. And of course 4 employees at Maple Leaf Foods. We'll keep an eye on that because the union is keeping up the pressure on the company and on health officials. They want it shut down just for the next couple of days to get those test results back. So we're waiting to hear an update on that.
Thanks for this, Laura.